into in spirit. Thank you guys for joining me both live and online today. We gathered here, well, it was my first time teaching here at New Moon on Monday. And since we had just followed Independence Day, my whole theme on Monday was about moksha. And to remind everyone that the true goal of yoga is liberation. Liberation or ultimate freedom. I was mentioning in the Hindu idea of moksha that it's more about the escape of reincarnation. You know, you finally excelled and evolved and become enlightened enough, you become such a master at this place and this world and this life that you can just move on from this point and no longer be part of this physical existence. In the Buddhist tradition, they think of moksha being more like achieving nirvana. Nirvana is like their heaven, or like heaven on earth. And in the yogic tradition, it's really about just creating some freedom so that we're not entrapped or imprisoned or held in bondage mentally or physically speaking. So today we're moving on into a different subject matter. And today I want to focus on mastering our energy. If you look at yogic philosophy, a lot of the philosophy is really psychology. And it's really trying to teach us how to live and how to live by a moral code so that we are dropping the suffering and moving into a happier, healthier existence. You guys were just mentioning how much a couple affirmations have been helping you. We were talking about your breathing and, you know, you were talking about closing your eyes and going within. Like, so a lot of these things that we implement here in the practice on the mat, we can really extend off the mat and take it into our daily life. And so the point of yoga, not just is liberation, but can we learn how to master ourselves? Learning how to master ourselves will lead to freedom. So for instance, I just shared with you the story of the Harry Potter ride and getting stimulation overload. I had to go into pratyahara. And the only way I could go into pratyahara, being belted in and with all this around me, was just to close my eyes and to use my breath to get me there. And so part of the yogic process is learning, can we learn how to master our senses? Can we learn how to master our mind? Can we learn how to master our energy? So consider times where you may have been in an environment. I just experienced this over the weekend. Rob and I had gone to dinner somewhere near my birthday, back in March. We had the most amazing time. There was amazing people there. It had amazing energy in the space. We went back, totally different experience. It was weird energy. It was unusual people. And it didn't feel the same. It was a totally different day, few months apart from each other, but we felt it. We both felt it. So this is what I'm talking about. When you get more and more into the yoga practice, you become more sensitive to energy. So we're going to focus on the energetics today, and we're going to focus on, you know, how we're distributing our energy, what we're putting our attention towards, because where attention goes, energy flows. And so that's going to be our focus. We're going to start off in a restorative position. We're going to mix it up today, a little active, a little passive. We're going to start off with the bolster going sideways across the mat. So with your bolster going sideways, you're actually going to be lifting your thighs so they're resting on top of it. And your hip points, or what I would consider the rim of the pelvis, is going to be right at the front edge of the bolster so that your belly hangs off. And if you need a blanket below the arms, you can add in a blanket. Otherwise, you can cross the arms to provide your headrest. And so really, it's a supportive way to do passive crocodile pose. Your feet are slid open, maybe to either edge of your mat. You're resting on the third eye. And then start to promote a better and deeper breath. Breath being the primary portal of energy. In fact, prana means life force energy. As you're breathing in a diaphragmatic way, you should feel the belly expanding and ballooning on the inhale, softening, deflating, relaxing on the exhale. I want you to consider for a moment that every thought, every emotion, and every act holds energy. And it can be positive or negative, a high or low vibration. And we're going to use this practice today in a very intentional and deliberate way to heighten our energy, to explore our energy, and to absorb some good energy. For now, all you have to focus on is watching the breath pulling in and pouring out. Witnessing the inhale enter into your body, and equally witnessing the breath departing from the body. Bringing in the new, sending out the old. We're going to be listening to the ancient, powerful mantra of Om. What is said to hold high and healing vibrations. You don't even necessarily have to listen to it. Know that you will be absorbing it. On your next in-breath, let's go ahead and lift the face. Slide the hands up underneath the shoulders. Push down through the palm, straighten the arms so you can shift away from the bolster, and you're going to turn it long ways now in front of you. You're going to come to standing Vajrasana and test the waters with your knees and shins with the floor. And do you need a blanket below? It's okay to add extra padding. Join your hands to prayer position at your heart, and we'll inhale, circle the arms up, and you can always come to diamond if you want to operate from your neck. As you exhale, you're going to bring the hands behind the back, grab your right wrist, and lower the right cheek towards the prop. And then we're going to inhale, come back up to either standing Vajrasana or diamond, yogi's choice. Exhale, sweep the hands behind you, tag a hold of your left wrist, and lower down to the left temple. And then we're just coming up on the in-breath, blowing down and alternating sides on the out-breath. At this point, it may be a good idea to switch to the Gujaya Pranayama. that audible sounding breath that gives you a rhythm to flow with. Following your personal breath will promote better energy. Since we started with the right hand and the right cheek, we're going to end on the left. If you're already there, you can pause. And when you come up, we're going to separate the thighs wide apart. We're going to slide the bolster inside of them. And we're going to take child's pose. Walking the hands down alongside the bolster, turning to the right cheek. Go ahead and just close the eyes. So hopefully that gentle flow of movement prepared your lower body to be able to reside here for a longer period of time. A time to rest and renew. Let your arms slide apart so that your upper back and shoulders can broaden. The weight can just spill downward. Firming as you hold. I release and relax away from all outer involvements into my own inner haven of peace, where I can become master of my energy and master of myself. Moving in this way is a great way to gain mastery so that we're not just reacting to everything that's happening externally. On your next in-breath, gently lift the face up and turn to the other cheek. Feel back down and feel supported by the props. Feel supported by your breath. It's drawing in fresh, new energy. 3 more breaths. Sliding your hands back in their direction. Slowly come up. We're going to use this bolster to sit on a moment. We're going to tap into some energy. And we'll come up to a couple energization exercises, do a little bit more active yoga, and then restore again. Hands to prayer. Place your fingers. And then slowly reach the arms upward, creating nice long traction through the spine. Curve to one side. Then inhale, come to the top. Exhale, curve to the other. Inhale back to the top. Exhale, hands back down to prayer. And start rubbing the hands vigorously together. Lots of friction, lots of heat. Heard the term healing hands before. I don't know how far back that goes, but I'm assuming a long ways back. So I know Frank's was a healer. The doctor healed with his hands, but we all have some ability to heal with our hands because there's so much energy here. Even just being able to hug and embrace someone can be healing for them. All right, now separate your hands just a smidge. I want you to feel the energy because this is something that we cannot visibly see. Feel it, and it can be scientifically measured. And this energy that you've awakened and activated, feel the magnetism and maybe even create more of a cupped shape with your hands as if you were holding a ball of energy, and maybe separating the hands more to notice how large that field still is, even after you've stopped rubbing. So they say the energetic field around the body is anywhere from 12 inches to 12 feet. That's huge, right? Lower vibration would be obviously less than, higher vibration greater than. Which is why people notice when we've left yoga, right? They notice a light in our eyes. They notice a pep in our step. They notice something has shifted. Vibration is higher. All right, let's come up to stand at this point. We'll come back to the props in a little bit. And to do the energization work that Yogananda brought over, it's going to be a double inhale in through the nose, short, long exhale through the mouth. We're only going to do 3 of these. These are my favorite ones. Bend the knees, bring your arms together, palms touch. Even though you've done it with me before, it may have been a while, so we'll go over the mechanics first. Scrunch your toes, start to tense your muscles, creating fists with your hands. Move the tension all the way up through your legs, into your chest, into your neck and throat. And then the exhale, we release, we let it go, we bend the knees, and the hands touch again. All right, now let's add in a breath work. Double inhale, tense with will. Double exhale, relax and feel. Continue. So when we tense and release muscles, we actually help to detoxify them. When we tense muscles, we strengthen them. And this is supposed to be really energizing, like a second cup of coffee that you would have during your day. Good, one last time. All right, we're gonna stand with our hands in a fist, feet slightly apart. We'll begin with the left arm. Double inhale up, double exhale to the side. Double inhale up, Double exhale, arm down. Last one. Hands and fists to the chest. This time we're going to be taking a twist, and it looks like you have plenty of clearance if you're not going to hit someone or the wall. But you want to keep your knees relaxed so that when you're swinging the arm, it's okay to get that twist through your hips. All right. Same type of breath work. When you're ready, double inhale here, double exhale, twist to the right. Good. Double inhale center, double exhale to the left. So all these postures and breath work is cleansing to some capacity, but they say the twists are the most cleansing of all. One more to each. And then standing in the anatomical position. I would not suggest necessarily closing the eyes completely. Maybe the eyes at half mast, just open at a sliver, gazing forward and out. Hopefully you feel that charge of energization running rampant through your body. And then we'll close the feet together at the top of the mat. This is where you may want blocks set aside your feet. And we'll join the hands to prayer. Inhale, sweep the arms to your sides and up. Exhale, fold to your Uttanasana. When you're folding into your Uttanasana, just bow over, determining whether or not you want to charge into your legs, or if you just want to keep a generous bend in your knees, right? They each have a different effect on your body, depending on if you want to work in the muscular system or more in the connective tissue. Still going to provide some space and opening around the kidneys. Let's keep calming. Feel free to affirm, nothing and no one on this earth can hold me down or back as I become the master of my energy and learn how to master myself. So on your next inhale, slide your hands up your leg bones, reach out through the crown of your head, and then exhale, pour back down. Use your hands on your blocks to step your left foot back. And when you step the left foot back, now start to put more weight into the front foot so that you can slowly rise up to Crescent Lunge. From your Crescent Lunge, have your spine more vertical, your arms framing your face. Look straight ahead, chin parallel to the earth. And as you exhale, you're going to fly out over the front thigh, spreading the arms out, but without dumping your chest. Now lower the hands to the block, sink the back knee to the floor, untuck the back toes. Inhale, pressurize the right foot, front up through the pelvic floor. Bring the arms up just like you did in Crescent Lunge, except now you're in the half lunge. On your out breath, you're going to take a little back bend and you're going to drop through your hips, opening up the hips as well as the heart. Take one more deep breath in. And then exhale, bring the hands down. Good, curl the back toes under. Step it up to the top of the mat. Bring the hands to the shins or thighs. Lengthen out halfway. Exhale, spill back down. Now you may want to approach it the same way you did earlier. You may want to move into the active or passive form. Loosen your neck. That's an area that we are trying to let go in. On your next in breath, we're gonna step the right foot back, take your hands to the blocks. They can turn up at any heights that you need. And it can help you maintain some balance as you start to come away from the blocks and rise into Crescent Lunge. If your balance is extremely off today, remember you can plant the back foot, good Sharon, and take Warrior One instead. There are days where we need to be mindful of our feet or ankles or just balance in general. On your out breath, stay heavy in that front foot. Fly out over and hover over the front thigh without dumping your weight. Gaze at one spot and then release the hands to the blocks. Release your back knee, untuck the back toes. Nice, keep that front knee aligned over your ankle. When you're ready, come up. Good, lifting through the pelvic floor, root lock, lifting through the navel center, belly lock. And then we let go of the blocks to hang back. Hanging back with our head, but sinking low through the hips. Bring the hands down. Now, slide or walk your left knee back. The blocks can move away. You can solidify your hands, curl your toes, and launch into Adho Mukha Svanasana, your downward facing dog. Pressing to the palms, separating out through the fingers. Slightly dialing your hands away from each other. Notice how that engages your arm muscles more. Remember, what we do with the fingers is going to affect the arms and shoulders, just like what we're doing with the toes are going to affect the feet and the legs. So are you utilizing your legs? Are you energetically putting some effort into rooting down through the feet, elevating a little higher through the ankles, lifting up through your quads, the front of your thighs? Take one last deep breath, affirming, master of my energy, master of myself. And then gently come down to the knees. Once you come down to the knees, bring your blanket in front of you. We're going to do a final active pose, and then we get to restore. I'm going to love Wednesdays. Wednesdays, we're sprinkling more restorative into the practice. Some Wednesdays will be all restorative. So the blanket's going to be in front of us, and the fingers are going to hide up underneath the fringe. And the wrists are lined up close to your knees. All right, we're gonna do it the easy way, okay? So the easy way is, we start to spill the forehead in the direction of the knees, but then we pick up the hips and we roll to the top of the head. And this is more of the easy version of Sasangasana hare pose. If you want to amp it up a little bit, all you have to do is take your hands and grab a hold of your heels. And you'll notice if your fingers can wrap around your heels and you're staying on the crown of your head, it will provide a deep stretch across the upper back, and it'll also help to stretch the rhomboid muscles up underneath the shoulder blades. This is really good for tension headaches, not sinus headaches, but tension headaches. This pose is where we get the affirmation, I am master of my energy, I am master of myself. And then gently come back down. Now we get to restore. We're going to set up a slide. We're going to take 2 blocks. One on its tall height, one on its medium height. And the bolster is going to lean into them like so. Now your blankets, you can do quite a few number of things here. You can go underneath your head like a pillow. You can wrap it over the belly for some weight, and you can also cover the whole body. But what we're going to be doing is scooting. You can be turned either direction, it doesn't matter. Your legs are going to go up this slide. And if your feet feel like they're going to slip off the bolster, if you turn your heels towards each other, toes out, usually that will help to keep them stable. I'm going to dim the lights in the room since we're getting ready to restore. While you're resting here, I'm going to share with you some things about how to promote better energy for yourself. Starting with physical energy. If we want good, positive, vibrant physical energy, then it's going to depend upon our diet, exercise, and sleep patterns. So if you've been feeling low, physically speaking, check in with yourself. Could you improve your diet? Could you improve the quality of your sleep? Could you increase some movement or exercise through the day? Then I want you to consider mental energy. There's a couple things that we practice on the mat that can promote better, more vibrant mental energy, and that's mindfulness and meditation. Mindfulness of staying present in the moment as often as we can. And one way to do that is to connect to our breath. So bring in some mindfulness towards your breath right now. Let the mantra or this contemplative food for thought be part of your meditation. Then I want you to consider emotional energy. Breath work is a great way to neutralize or to transmute emotion, because the breath has a direct effect on the mind and the heart. So if you're feeling indecisive, just taking a moment to slow down, to breathe can help. If you're noticing you're regurgitating your past, Is there any way you can use your breath as a way to escape that particular thought pattern that is keeping you held captive by the emotion? To free yourself from that entanglement and to increase your emotional energy. And then consider spiritual energy. We hold a purpose. We know we're living our Dharma. It's easier to excel with that spiritual energy. But if we're feeling lost or just sleepwalking or doing the same repetitive things over and over without intention, it can be draining. So let's use these restorative poses to replenish our energy. Slowly start to gather your knees into your arms. Taking Apanasana, the wind release pose. And then stack your hands atop of your knees and start to circle the knees around one direction. And then circle the other direction. We'll tip over to one side of the body. Acclimating here first. Then coming up. Check in with your blocks. And then once they're secure, we're going to start off reclining onto the bolster. Make sure that your low back's padded. And bring the soles of the feet together, splay the knees open. And we're not going to stay this way. We're going to start off this way. Let your shoulders spill down to the prop. Let your palms open up on the floor. Gently close the lids of the eyes. Find bound angle. So what you're trying to master here is the art of relaxation. Give your body a break. Giving your nervous system a break. Your outer senses a break. Go within, but be mindful of what you put your attention towards. Where attention goes, energy flows. Instead of focusing on what you don't want, maybe focus on the things you do want. Instead of focusing on what worries you, focus on what uplifts you. Or just move everything out of the way, move towards the recesses of the mind, where you may be more thoughtless. Next inhalation, begin to flutter the knees upward. And then you'll just slide your legs outward in front of you. Always add in a blanket under your thighs or knees. If you need additional support. And you're using this time well. Learning how to master energy and anxiety and stillness. Next inhalation, we're gonna walk the feet back so that the knees are bent, so that the feet are wide apart. Let your knees just rock over to the right. You don't have to touch the floor, you're just taking a little twist here. Inhale, knees to the top. Exhale, roll the knees to the left. We've got a couple more times, side to side. Pausing in the twist. But not holding the breath. Next time you send the knees off to the left, you can turn over to that side, elevate yourself up. Take that bolster down, sit on top of it, towards the edge of it. Get nice and tall with your palms turned open, your eyelids turned down. We discussed today how we can learn how to master our energy. One of the best ways to be mastering our energy, especially during this time of great change and shifts, is to incorporate meditation. Sitting quietly. The mind is not as unruly. You can practice some self-study. Learn how to micromanage yourself in all these different ways. to keep ourselves balanced, keep ourselves in check. Also to keep our vibrations high. Our energy affects other people's energy. And our energy feeds back into the collective. One person can have a tremendous influence. You have the tools and you know what to do. Master your energy. Let's sit for a moment quietly and just chant the mantra Om, or listen to this chant. You should place your left hand over your heart and your right hand on top of that, as if you were creating these angel wings. Your attention into your heart space. Set an intention to keep your energy high and pure, at least for today. Set your intention to only go the places where your energy is celebrated, appreciated, and reciprocated. And in turn, try to celebrate, appreciate, and reciprocate others' positive, uplifting energy as well. Join your hands together in prayer. Let's complete our practice chanting Om together. Take a deep inhale in. The light within me honors and respectfully bows to the same in me. Thank you guys for joining today.
Thank you.
Oh, great. Heather made it. Can't see you, but I'm glad you're here. You are welcome.